The MTA needs to die. New York City has wasted its money on the MTA way before we got PEV rides in our hands throughout New York City. It has affected us both as riders underground and riders on the street. What's up, y'all? I'm Reekin with Ride with Anthony. Welcome back to another episode. And today we're going to be talking about why the MTA needs to die. If you made it this far, please like and comment. Definitely subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns, share that in the comments section below. So in this video, we're going to just be talking shit about the MTA, which in all honesty is not that hard. As far as I can remember, the MTA has always been a pain in the ass to ride. Delays, infrastructure failures, rail work, crime, health hazards, safety violations, and a whole bunch of cap about how the MTA is doing the best that it can to, well, be better for us in New York City. Bullshit. And I swear to you, it's been like this since Wu-Tang announced that it was for the children, since the Super Nintendo was brought to the United States, since the Mets won a World Series. It's a long fucking time. Yikes. How come being in the world of PEV is 1,000 times better than being in the world of the MTA? How even though us in the PEV world, if we don't ride the MTA, the bullshit that the MTA costs is affecting us on the streets as well. It's a spicy take, maybe it's not, but stay tuned and you'll hear it. And shout out to everybody that's been in our YouTube join and also our Patreon. We really love you guys and we can't do this without you. All right, bet, let's go. If you live in New York City or you visited New York City, you should know that walking's a must, driving sucks, and the MTA is the only way you can get from point A to point B. Ain't shit guaranteed when you walk past those turnstiles, fam. MTA stands for My Time Actually. Fuck your life. Delays, breakdowns, and construction. So I remember when we got our new train, somebody told me that the train was made on the subway. It's not compatible with the train tracks, which if this is true, which I think it is, this is a main reason as to why we always get track delays and breakdowns. Who approved this? How is this such a oversight for the city to not realize is a problem? I remember one time I was on the F train. That's called the fuck train because you get fucked up on that train. I was taking the train back home from Coney Island and I had to get back to Red Hook. The train had a bad signal delay. And because of the signal delay, I had to stay on the train. And now you're probably wondering, why didn't they escort us out? I have no fucking idea as to why. You know, mismanagement is another factor as to why the MTA was just trash and will continue to remain trash for the foreseeable future. But me and a bunch of other passengers had to spend the night on the train. It was from like 2 o'clock in the morning to like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. And there was absolutely nothing that we could do about it. So you were really on your own. Do you got any horror stories about being stuck in the train? If you remember any of them, please put that in the comment section below. The funny thing is the MTA is supposed to be 24-hour service. Well, the running joke is that it'll take you 24 hours to get home or to wherever you're trying to go. You know what else is 24 hours and 7 days a week? Crime. These crazies, man, these debris, crazy motherfuckers. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They don't have a day off. If I'm not feeling safe in the train, then why should I be taking the train also? I'll put it like this. I was actually talking with somebody who was from Japan. And we had a long conversation about the Japan Railway versus the New York Railway, right? At the age of 4 or 5 years old, she learned how to take the train all across Tokyo because it was safe. I asked her, well, what about now? She said, oh, hell no. She's like, she has a kid and she was like, oh, hell no. My kid ain't riding the train anywhere. And for good reason. You don't know what's going to happen. There is so much crime and shit that gets away from our eyes that not even citizen can capture. We got the mentally unstable, we got the homeless, we got gang activity, and we got a bunch of other shit that happens in the subway train. Remember the guy who decided to go on Punisher mode and go after people with a shotgun on 36th Street on the N train? How about the guy who was going crazy and was fucking around and messing with people on the train, and then he got choked out by someone who was ex-military? Remember that? How about the shootout that just happened the other day? How about the guy who brandished a knife the other day? And if I just say, do you remember this the other day? Even if I made that up, somebody will be like, oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that. Because anything goes in the subways. Anything goes. And now I'm not trying to make you paranoid, but there is a type of wherewithal that you need to have when you're in the train. You need to keep your head on a swivel, just like you do when you're riding the PEV on the streets. You need to keep your head on a swivel. And the difference between being in the PEV and being in the MTA is that there really isn't anywhere for you to run whenever you're in the train cars. You have to stand your ground. At least in a PEV environment, right, on the streets, you can kind of swerve your way around and kind of go the next block. You know, you can suss out the area a little bit better, but nah, in the MTA, you're on your own. I remember one of the times I was going home, so I sit down. It's an empty train card. Lo and behold, somebody gets in my train card, right? And reenact him real quick. Can you see me? Good. He's walking in like this. He's doing shit like that, right? My hair got all fluffy. So he's just shaking, doing all these things, fidgeting, going like this. And I'm just sitting there looking at him, and I'm like, motherfucker, can you go anywhere else? No, he can't. Sits right down next to me. Him, me. And he's making these fidgety movements, right? And so I'm thinking, oh, shit's about to go down. So I have my hand in my pocket with my self-defense tool, as we'll call it, allegedly. And the second that he makes a move, it's like this. I'm thinking he's going to try to reach me and he's going to do some crazy shit. I take out my hand with my self-defense tool, allegedly, ready to defend myself. What does he do? Picture this as the window, right? The back of the window. And he just goes, bow, 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 bow. Gets up, walks away like nothing ever happened, gets off the train. What? How about the time? This is more recent, actually. My cousin was going on the train back to his place, I believe in Queens. He was at Wall Street, and he told me that he was in the other train car. Somebody got executed in the next train car. It was an assassination, not an attempt, and it was successful. Someone ran up in there when the doors opened at Wall Street, of all places, got his offensive tool for YouTube purposes, and just ended a guy's life right there. 4 shots, and then ran out. My cousin saw it all. He was in the train car next to it. Why would I want to take the train? Kind of makes you wonder the billions upon billions upon billions of dollars that we've given to the MTA with our tax money. Like, it really makes you wonder what the fuck is going to it, because everything is crazy. Nothing is up to code. Like, I swear to you, son, OSHA must have a cardiac arrest every time they look at the MTA. So many stations are chipped. So many stations are cracked. So many stations are filled with human feces. I saw somebody take a shit right in front of me on Chambers Street. So many stations look like the Williamsburg Bridge. I love that bridge. But why does the train stations look like that? They smell. You see mold. You see pipes leaking that they shouldn't be leaking. Old infrastructure. You name it. Lead. I know that there's still lead in the subway trains, in the subway stations. It could go on and on. How does this affect PEV riders? A lot of PEV riders should relate to me whenever I say a lot of us are taking this because we prefer this type of transportation over the MTA. It makes no sense to pay that money for something that's falling apart. It feels better. It feels more free. And for me personally, I feel more safe being in the streets of Manhattan than I do in a subway. I blame the MTA for why the roads are the way they are in New York. They get broken and damaged way faster than we can rebuild them. So how is that the MTA's fault? Because they have their own budget, right? The roads have their own budget in the city. The MTA has its own budget. My spicy take is that it's the MTA's fault because they keep requesting more money. And because of them requesting more money, we are possibly delegating more resources to them when we should be delegating more resources to the road. Because at least with the road, we know that the construction workers have a higher chance of fixing the fucking streets than fixing a track that doesn't even align properly with the train. It's very bizarre, it's stupid, and it's a pain in the ass to know how much money that we put towards the MTA and it does nothing. Because it's asking for so much, it fucks with what we can put towards a budget towards fixing the roads. I've gotten into several accidents from potholes and sinkholes that just came in out of nowhere, whether it's from weathering or whatever the hell it is, right? But I have a feeling that a lot of these would be fixed if we just put more resources towards fixing those roads. A good amount of train stations feel like homeless shelters. A lot of train stations don't feel safe, especially at nighttime. People always look over their shoulder. This right here, tuck that in, like, immediately. Some people won't even sit down on the train because they don't want to be caught lacking. Some people would prefer walking. And most people would prefer being on a PEV vehicle. So yeah, the MTA, as we know, needs to die. It needs to go and do the trust fall and make sure nobody picks it up. In the perfect world, the solution would be that the MTA gets its shit together and then it could be a functioning train. It could be a functioning business that gives us transportation throughout New York City. But in reality, the only solution I have is for more people to go on PEV vehicles. We shouldn't be taking a train that doesn't even take us anywhere, if you get what I'm saying. It sucks already that we're putting too much money towards them on taxes, but the last thing I want to do is go and rely on them on the train. Take my PEV vehicle everywhere. I'll take my G2 and I'll take my V2 anywhere that I gotta go. I don't ever want to take the MTA. So there you go, guys. That's my overall thoughts and opinions on the MTA and why it sucks and why it needs to... If you have any thoughts or opinions or maybe good, positive things to say about the MTA, please put them in the comment section below. If you think I was too harsh or too critical, definitely put that in the comment section below. I want to kind of get a discussion rolling with topics and hot topics and spicy topics. I don't think the MTA one was a spicy topic. In fact, I think everybody knows this. Yeah, the MTA, no bueno. PEV, all day, every day. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to everyone on YouTube joined. Shout out to the patrons. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you do have any questions or concerns, put that in the comment section below. All right, y'all. I'm Reeking with Ride with Anthony. Much love. I'm out. Ride safe. Stay safe.
Will you ride with me? By my side, ride with me. By my side, we'll be